This video is closed captioned. Did you know that tipping is sometimes considered rude in Japan? Surprised? Well, there is more from where that came. Japan is a culturally rich country, and the Japanese are big on customs and etiquette that might sound funny to visitors and foreigners. However, if you plan to visit Japan sooner or later, you need to get yourself acquainted with all these rules and tips so that you don't make cultural blunders that will leave the locals raising their brows at you. In this video, we look at 10 things that under no circumstances should you do in Japan. Ready? Let's go. Number 1. Do not wear shoes inside. This is one of the most important customs in Japan that you should not flaunt. Japanese consider the shoes worn outside unclean. Hence, they frown on wearing them inside the house. Indoor slippers are usually provided at the entrance of the house, so if you're not comfortable walking barefooted, you can always wear the indoor slippers. Apart from the house, there are other places where this no shoe inside rule extends to places like the temples, fitting rooms, schools, and clinics. This rule is also for restaurants where visitors sit on the floor or on local tatami mats. However, in this case, even indoor slippers aren't allowed. So if I were you, I'd make sure I'm putting on matching socks that have no holes. But wait, it doesn't end there. There are other shoe rules, even inside the house. When you want to visit the toilet, you are not expected to wear your indoor slippers. There are specific slippers that you can wear inside the toilet areas. These slippers are usually placed at the toilet entrance. You swap them with your indoor slippers when you want to use the toilet and swap again when you're done. Number 2. Don't misuse your chopsticks. You might be wondering if there is a wrong way to use chopsticks. After all, is it not just to dip them in your meal and pick up some food? However, it is not that simple. There are essential chopsticks etiquettes you must follow if you do not want to offend the locals or your hosts. Now, what are the things to avoid when using chopsticks? Number 1. Never dip your chopsticks vertically into your bowl of rice. This is part of their funeral rites, and it reminds the Japanese of death. If you want to drop your chopsticks when they're not in use, drop them neatly on the chopsticks holder. Number 2. Don't use your chopsticks to share or pass food to someone else's chopsticks. Number 3. Don't use your chopsticks to tap or move your food bowls. Number 4. It is also considered rude to point at people with your chopsticks. And lastly, don't rub your chopsticks together. If all these rules are too much for you, you might as well stick to your spoons and forks so you don't offend anyone. Want to know something that won't offend the Japanese? Subscribing to our channel and clicking on the notification bell so you don't miss any updates from us. Number 3. Don't jump queues. Although this is a relatively general and standard etiquette, the Japanese hold it in higher esteem. The Japanese are polite and orderly, so you'll find queues everywhere, from bus stops, elevators, restaurants, and even in front of grocery stores. Cutting the line in Japan is an insulting behavior and will earn you more than a raised eyebrow from the locals. Even foreigners and visitors are not exempted from this rule. However, you don't have to worry about staying in queues very long because the Japanese are very organized, so it's rare to stay in a queue for so long. Just be patient, stay in your lane, and you will enjoy your stay. The next rule we'll be talking about is something that is so common and even appreciated in other parts of the world. However, in Japan, it can be seen as an insult. Number 4. Don't tip. Unlike other parts of the world, especially the Western parts where tipping is almost compulsory, the Japanese do not have a tipping culture, and tipping can even be taken as an insult. Most establishments have a no tipping rule, so tipping a staff member might make them feel guilty. Do not be surprised to see a waiter reject your tip or look confused when you tip them. And if you put some change on the table as a tip, expect someone to run after you and tell you that you forgot your change. This even cuts across the cab fares. Don't be surprised when your cab driver refuses to round up the cab fare and instead demands that you give them the exact price. Saying thank you for a good service is sufficient. Although some establishments are gradually becoming accustomed to the tipping culture, it is still not mandatory. Number 5. Don't eat or drink on the go. it is probably not unusual to see people in your environment chew and drink while walking. However, this is not a norm in Japan. There are usually tables and chairs provided in front of convenience stores where you can eat any snack or fast food you bought. You can as well eat standing up beside the stall. It is also acceptable to stay beside a vending machine and take your drink. Recycling bins are usually provided beside the vending machines where you can dispose of your bottle after drinking. Drinking and eating on trains and public transport is usually frowned upon too. There are exceptions, however, for long-distance trains. Another manner considered rude in public is blowing your nose. It's okay to take a sniff now and then, however, blowing your nose loudly is not acceptable. You should find a bathroom or a place to do so. Number 6. Don't use a bathtub without having a shower first. Bathtubs in Japan are called furo, and they are often square in shape. However, unlike conventional Western bathtubs, the bathtubs in Japan are not for bathing and cleaning your body. Rather, they are reserved solely for relaxation. So, before you enter that inviting bathtub with steaming hot water, make sure you have had a thorough shower and scrubbed your body well. This rule should also be followed when using the public baths called onsen. Using the onsen also requires you to follow other rules such as packing your hair, no bathing suit, and your towel shouldn't touch the water. Swimming isn't allowed either. Some onsen, as well as some public pools and gyms, will also not allow you to use the onsen if you have a tattoo. That is because it is considered a taboo and linked with crime. So, you might want to keep it covered. Number 7. Don't litter the streets. From some of the tips we've mentioned, you would be right if you guessed the Japanese people are very organized and clean. Littering is frowned upon in Japan, and that is why you will find many of their streets clean. Even if you can't find a trash can to throw your trash in, it is expected that you hold the garbage until you find a place where you can properly dispose of it. Number 8. Don't smoke on the street. If you do not want to be arrested or fined during your Japan stay, you should never smoke on the street. Smoking on the street is an illegal act and is punishable by the law in Japan. However, this is not saying you can't smoke in Japan. Many large commercial buildings and stations provide smoking rooms if you want to smoke in Japan. There are also designated public areas for smoking. Number 9. Do not make noise on public transport. The average noise level in Japan is a lot lower than the noise level in other parts of the world. What might seem a normal conversational tone is usually considered loud and frowned upon in Japan, especially in public transport. When on public transport, you can read, listen to music, or text. However, it is considered rude to engage in loud and long conversations. Picking calls and making phone calls are also considered rude. Likewise, talking loudly and at length. So, when on public transport, try as much as possible to keep your voice down, and if you can help it, try not to engage in lengthy conversations. Number 10. Do not pour drinks for yourself. Group dining is pretty common in Japanese, and there are etiquettes you must follow. Pouring a drink by yourself is considered rude. At a party or gathering, the host is usually the one who pours the drink. However, it is considered polite behavior to pour drinks for other people at your table and let someone else pour for you. This will help build better relationships and communication with the locals. You should also hold the bottle with your hands when you pour the drink. So, here are some helpful tips on things you should never do in Japan. If you've learned something so far from this video, then check out other videos on the channel. I'm sure you'd find something else to catch your interest. You can also share the video with other travel enthusiasts like you. Remember to subscribe and follow the channel too. Which of these tips did you find most surprising? Tell us in the comment section below.